protect birds and the places they need today and tomorrow. And we do this using science, conservation, education, and advocacy. So if you haven't seen our center, we have a nature center just on Central Avenue, just south of the I-17 in downtown Phoenix. We also have a research ranch in Elgin, Arizona, which is in the rural parts of southeastern Arizona. So we have field trips, we do a lot of research, we invite researchers out to the ranch, and we also have a lot of community events at our center, which a majority of which are free and open to the public. One of which, Birds and Beer, we've raffled off Wayne's art before, and it was a lovely event. So if you're interested and want to learn more about our organization, we have flyers and information over by the art. And if you would like to purchase any art, I will be there to take your sales. I will not be able to process any book sales. That all goes to changing hands. But yeah, thank you so much, and we're excited to be here. Yeah.
So again, please enjoy the next 20 minutes or so to have some refreshments, to enjoy the artwork, and we'll see you back here in the seats around 6:30 when we'll kick off the poetry reading. Thanks, everybody. Okay, we're back. So, apologies if my first welcome was a little shaky. Yes, I've been little bit nervous about this. I want to welcome you all again, and thank you so much to each of you for being here. It means a great deal. So, now that we're back and you've enjoyed some lively refreshments and had a chance to peruse, and we're very grateful to purchase some of Wayne's artwork, which is really what you're doing is you're donating to Audubon. And to thank you for that in Wayne's name, we're sending you home with a piece that you've chosen and that we know that you're going to treasure, because talking to people here who have had Wayne's artwork in their homes through his gift or through purchasing it at some of the fundraisers we've done since he passed, we know how much joy the pieces continue to bring, and we can see it when everyone's browsing the artwork and asking questions. Again, everything that he did with such intention, and mainly with the intention to bring joy and awareness of the beauty and the fragility of the natural world. So thanks again so much. Thank you to all the wonderful readers that are about to take the stage one after the other. Thanks to the Phoenix location of Changing Hands Bookstore for the first draft bar for the wine, and to Wildflower for the refreshments, and to Miss Faith, our dear friend and friend of Wayne's, for being here to host that table, and again to Morgan Moore of Audubon for being here, and also Jared Duran, who is a local publisher of Hoot and Waddle Press and the commander of Limited Engagement Podcast, who's here recording the readings. He's sitting at the table where we have the books of all the wonderful poets you're about to be treated to. Books are on display and can be purchased at the registers, of course, because you're in a bookstore. The artwork, however, is handled directly at the table by Morgan and goes straight to Audubon entirely. Okay, so tonight's event is all about community, art, and poetry. The community that is enriched and held strongly together by its creative forces and voices. It is now my great pleasure and honor to introduce someone who is the most passionate about poetry in the community, by and for the community, and to whom I'm deeply grateful personally for that and for putting her passion behind this event. Rosemarie Rosemarie Dombrowski is the inaugural Poet Laureate of Phoenix, Arizona, and the founding editor of Rinky Dink Press. She is the recipient of a 2017 Arts Hero Award and curates and hosts the First Friday Poetry at Roosevelt Row. Her third collection, The Cleavage Plains of the Southwest Minerals, A Love Story, was the winner of the 2017 Split Rock Review Chapbook Contest. Friends, please help me give a warm welcome to Rosemarie Dombrowski.
Great. I love it when I do that first thing out of the gate. Well, I was just going to make an announcement, and that's please turn off your cell phones. So that's what I followed the dramatic introduction with. Please turn off your cell phones or put them on airplane mode, and we should be ready to go. How am I? Is that okay? Thank you, Pinna. Perfect. We've got 6 readers for you tonight. I'm going to do a short introduction, and then I will welcome the first reader, who happens to be Pinna Joseph, up to the mic. So welcome again to Birds and Bards. And in case you haven't heard, April is National Poetry Month, so I hope that's part of the reason why you're here. And in case you haven't noticed recently, poetry is everywhere now, and not just during the month of April. It's in the millennials, who have found new ways to increase its relevancy. Poetry has not only risen from obscurity, it's making substantial contributions to the current of social activism in our country. But this idea that poetry contributes to our social fabric and our human consciousness dates back at least to 1855, when Walt Whitman speculated that of all nations, the United States, with veins full of poetical stuff, most need poets, and will doubtless have the greatest and use them the greatest. Their presidents shall not be their common referee so much as their poets shall. Of all mankind, the great poet is the equable man. He is the arbiter of the diverse. He is the equalizer of his age and land. So we're here tonight in honor of Wayne and the Audubon Society, but also the power of verse, its ability to transcend boundaries, to unite people across arbitrary divides. And I think Wayne would like that. With that, I'd like to introduce our first reader of the evening, who happens to be Pinna Joseph. Pinna Joseph is a chantrist, a sound artist, and a poet. She offers workshops on the tradition and practice of chanting in many cultures. She also specializes in ekphrastic poetry and haiku. She has been facilitating Friday poetry readings at Changing Hands, and we're talking the old location, for many moons / many years. Let's welcome Pinna Joseph up to the mic.
I'd like to start with a wordless chant. It may sound like it comes from many cultures, and maybe it does deep down, but it's you'll hear it. Hummer haiku in non-traditional form for Wayne and all of you. Gray and green hummer settling till still on red perch. Head bobs, tongue extends. Pine embossed Japanese bell gently dinging. Hummingbird flutters near. Pierre's blue-painted bird peers upward, breezy Tibetan prayer flags. Blue, white, red, green, yellow, colors repeating, swaying in spring wind. Busy buzz, hurried hummer. Sugar water freshly made, inviting the bob. Sunlight catches red throat, dipping drinker, no perch. Ecstatic hummer. Ya, ya, ho, ya, ya, hey, sounds of this human voice. Hummer returns to taste. 80 beats per second. Tiny wings flutter, sucking sugar juice. Yesterday, white egret still at pond's edge. Now hummerbill dives. Sweet water. Green back, gray chest, red throat spot, dips time and again. Sun shines, reds show. Hummer too darts at one. No longer drinking, perched. Both buzz northward.
I always like to do a second round of applause. That was beautiful and stirring. Thank you so much, Pinna. What a beautiful way to begin. Next, I'd like to introduce David Chorlton. David Chorlton moved to Phoenix in 1978, leaving behind Austria, where he was born and had returned to live in his 20s after growing up in Manchester, England. In Arizona, he has grown ever more fascinated by the desert and its wildlife, which are often found in his writing, including his latest book, Reading T.S. Eliot to a Bird, published by Hoot and Waddle Press. And sometimes I think that a bird would be most appreciative of T.S. Eliot in the 21st century, and so it's the most perfect title. With that, let's give a round of applause to David Chorlton.
When you go out hoping to see a particularly spectacular bird, remember that a lot of the excitement lies in anticipation and in the waiting. This is waiting for the quetzal. Begin in the lowlands, in light soaked with moisture, where people are waiting for a bus they know will arrive, because waiting never fails them. Take the winding road that peels away into the Cordillera, promising never to end. Relish the view at every switchback, with mountains flowing in and out of the clouds. Soon it will rain, the road will turn liquid, but a mile into the sky, wild avocados grow and epiphytes take root in the air. The strangler fig is water turning to muscle before your eyes. Listen to the heat as it drips around you. Count down the time to the storm drifting against your brow. The song of the nightingale thrush